Uh, Good morning, sir. Good morning, friends. My name is Dr. Bijan Kumar Shil. Friends, till now we have been introducing resource persons of our refresher course. Now a moment comes to introduce our coordinator of this refresher course. And it's an immense pleasure for me to have this opportunity. Friends, being together from last 8 days, we all are well aware about his kind behavior and subject expertise. Dr. Praveen Meshram sir is having unique combination of teaching, research, and administrative experience in the field of environmental science at Sevadal Mahila Mahavidyalaya, affiliated to Nagpur University, Nagpur. He has devoted around 26 years of his life to teaching and scientific research. He has attended many national and international conferences and published more than 58 research papers in reputed journals and is actively engaged in research work. He has also authored 2 books, namely a textbook of environmental studies and a study material on environmental studies by UGC New Delhi in collaboration with Solapur University. Sir has been a principal investigator in several research projects sponsored by UGC and DST SERV. He is a member of several prestigious committees in various other universities also. He is a winner of Bharat Shiksha Ratna Award for outstanding contribution in the field of environmental education and awareness organized by Global Society for Health and Education, a Delhi-based NGO funded by MOEF. Personally, I have been often getting blessing of sir because he was present as a subject expert as a referee on my PhD Open Viva at Gondwana University, Gadchiroli. And I hope that the society and the whole environmental science fraternity will be always benefited through his expertise. Welcome, sir. Today, he is going to present a short PPT on air pollution. Over to Meshram, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shil. I'm very much thankful to Dr. Shil for introducing me so nicely. And I'm also thankful to our director of UGC HRDC for shouldering this responsibility to me as a course coordinator. First time I have received such a great opportunity to organize and to arrange the refresher course in association with the Staff Academic College and with my college. Today I have decided to deliver presentation on the understanding of the various aspects of air pollution to attain the sustainability. The air pollution, which is one of my favorite topic also. And as we all know that, just a minute. तुमच्या जवळ ठेवून द्या मग मी नंतर Sorry, just a minute. I have received some urgent message from the office of the principal. Anyway, so shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, right from the beginning, the day we have started this course, I came to know that all our participants are coming from various subjects, various disciplines. So, I have tried my level best to make this PPT and very easy and simple so that all the participants belonging to the different subject, they should be able to understand the topic of air pollution. So after presentation, perhaps you will be in a position to understand what are the basic concepts of air pollution, then various definitions given by the various scientists, then what are the major sources which are responsible for this air pollution problem. Then I'll also discuss the broad classification of the air pollutants, then their methods of the measurement, then adverse effects of the air pollution, then what are the major issues which are in concern with the air pollution, What are the major issues which are connected with our air pollution? What are the major issues which are linked up with our air pollution problem? Then we'll have a short discussion on the control aspect, mitigation measures of the air pollution. And then I'll share one of the case study of the Nagpur city. Followed. So, as we all know that our country is having the 28 states and the 8 union territories. India, our country, India is a very large and the beautiful country. And it is also one of the fascinating tourist destination. About our country, it is also said that we Indians are always like the peace and the harmony. Our country is nothing but the peace loving nation. But my dear participant, from last 10 to 15 years, we are suffering from various serious problems. That is the problem of our air pollution. Actually, today, there are various issues which are connected with our precious environment in which we all are subjected today. Those issues or those evidences from where the pollutants are affecting the life on the planet, the pollutants which are coming from the various sources, they are disturbing to our planet or to our mother earth. So all these harmful effects of the pollutants on the human beings, then plant life, animal life, our microorganism, even on our climate, they have been identified. And that all those issues I'll discuss one by one. At present, the numerous issues like the quality of environment, then ecological imbalance, depletion of the protective ozone umbrella, identification of the ozone hole, then disruption of the Earth's natural ecosystem, greenhouse effect, global warming, chlorofluorocarbons, acid rain have been raised during the last 10 years. Perhaps this may be one of the reasons why our air is totally unfit. And therefore, perhaps this may be one of the reasons why our fellows are suffering from various disorders, various diseases which are occurring through the various pollutants. So, my dear friends, fight against the air pollution that has become the need of the day. That has become the need of the hour. So, as we all know that for our better living standard, we need clean air, we need pure water, we need nutritious food, which are the basic amenities for life. But the quality of the air is likely to deteriorate because of the various factors such as the rapid industrialization, then urbanization, then population explosion, and the wide spheres of the human activities. So all these factors are responsible for the increasing the air pollution problems in cities. And this is one of the reasons why air pollution has become one of the vital and the serious environmental problem of the modern society. Now, these are the various definitions which are given by some renowned scientists. Just I'll go through it. Air pollution may be defined as that quantity of the pollutant which is sufficient to cause the injury to the human beings and their living creatures. World Health Organization defined air pollution as nothing but the imbalance in quality of the air so as to cause the adverse effect on the living organisms which are existing on the earth. Now, let us come to the what is the composition of the clean air? What is the chemical composition of this clean air? Now, this clean air having our major components such as the nitrogen and oxygen. These are the two predominant gases which are present in an abundant amount. Nitrogen present in 78%, oxygen present in 20%. Then we are having the minor components such as the argon and the carbon dioxide. And then we are having the series of the trace elements. Now, this atmosphere is nothing but the cover of the gases. It is nothing but the protective blanket of the gases which is surrounding the earth and it holds the life, and it saves it from the contaminated environment. It saves it from our environment, from where all the harmful gases which are entering into our atmosphere daily, with so many sources of the factors which are responsible for the air pollution. So composition of the gases and that surround the earth, they are not at all bound together chemically. Here in this composition, each and every gas is totally distinct and they separate from others. Now, this lower boundary of the atmosphere has got the three categories, which I already told you, that major components and the minor component and the trace elements. Now, there are some latest report of the World Health Organization regarding the air pollution studies, which says that the physiological requirement of any adult person is roughly around 1.5 kg of food, 2 kg of water, and some water also. It has been observed that a person can live for 5 days without water, without air and without water, but only for 5 minutes without air. Therefore, it is very essential that we must know about the clean air around us and what are the major sources which are responsible for the air pollution. Now, there are some facts also regarding the air pollution. Whatever the air which we breathe is not at all a pure oxygen, but it is all contaminated with the dust, then smoke, and the several gases in an harmful proportion, which are coming from the various factors which I told you. Now, we breathe near about 22,000 times a day, inhaling the 16 kg of the air. It is therefore essential that we must know about the quality of air around us and what are the major sources which are responsible for this air pollution. Now, these sources of the air pollution have been broadly classified under the two categories. One is known as the natural category, that is the natural sources, and second category which is known as the man-made sources, that is also known as the anthropogenic categories. Now, these natural sources of air pollution are nothing but the volcanic eruptions, which are releasing all the poisonous gases such as sulfur dioxide, then hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxides. All these are produced naturally and released in the air, so that the resultant air is totally is not at all a fit for the human consumption. It is little bit injurious to the health. The resultant air is not at all fit for the human consumptions. Even these green plants, through the process of the transpiration, they release the huge amount of the carbon dioxide, which is also constitute, which is another constitution of the source of the air pollution, and further it has enhanced the problem of the greenhouse effect. It has enhanced the problem of the global warming and the climate change. Just I would like to have some recent fire forest hazards. In the summer of 2019, the Amazon captured the world attention when large chunks of the ionic rainforest went up into the flame and smokes and darkened the sky above the one of the capital of the Brazil, that is Sao Paulo, which is one of the capital and that is one of the largest city of the Brazil. That fire which had burned the entire forest, which is covered about the 7,600 square kilometer area of the forest. This is one of the foreign example. And as far as our country, over 50 hectares of the land have been destroyed by the forest fires in an Uttarakhand, as per one of the report published by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change. So all these forest fires, they are emitting the large amount of the deadly dangerous gases, and as a result, we all are suffering from the air pollution problems. Now, these are all the natural sources. Now, let us come to the man-made sources. These man-made sources are very, very important. We'll have a discussion to one by one. Now let us have the first factor, that is nothing but the increase in population. That is nothing but the population explosion. Here I would like to mention the example of our Nagpur city. Now, as per the census report published by our Nagpur Municipal Corporation in the 1991, we Nagpurians were 20 lakhs, 22,225. Then next report comes in the 2011. So during the last 20 years, there is a total rise of the 26 lakhs 30,946, which is one of the present population of our Nagpur city. The projected population, which indicates that India will be the first most populous country in the world, and China will be ranking the second by the year of 2050. And as we all know that once the population will be on the rise, what are the ultimate hazards? What are the final outcomes of the air pollution? They are nothing but the global warming, climate change, water scarcity, water pollution, less availability of the food, then loss of forest cover. And once there will be a loss of forest covers, there will be ultimately the wildlife, there will be the depletion of the wildlife species also. So this is all about the first factor, that is nothing but the increase in population. Second factor, which is equally responsible for the air pollution, that is nothing but the rapid industrialization. Now, as we all know that there is a tremendous craze of the progress in the field of the industrialization and the technology. That has become one of the basic criteria that has been designated as one of the basic criteria for the development of any city, for the development of any metropolitan city, or the development of any nation. Today, our country ranks the 7th place among the industrialized developing countries of the world. All these industrial emissions which are discharging, which are emitting toxic gases, which are entering into our precious environment, into our air daily, and thus our precious environment is getting deteriorated to such an extent that it has crossed all the permissible limit, it has crossed all the permissible standards, and resultant air has become dangerous to all the organism, including our plant life, including our animal life, including the microorganism, and as well as the human beings. Now, in our country, we are having the large industries like paper and pulp. We are having the chemical industries, cotton industries are there, metallurgical and the smelter industries are there. Then we are having the network of the petroleum refineries. We are having the mining industries. We are having the synthetic rubber industries. All these industries are responsible for the 20% of the air pollution all over the globe. Now, major air pollutants are nothing but the gaseous pollutant. That is nothing but the carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, then sulfur dioxides, the oxides of the carbon, oxides of the sulfur such as sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, then oxides of the nitrogen such as nitric oxide and the nitrogen. Apart from all these gaseous pollutants, smokes from the chimneys also contain the dust particles, then carbon particulates, then there are some metals, then other solids and the liquids, and even there are some radioactive materials also which are spewing from the different industries. Then accidental release of the poisonous gases causes the deadly air pollution. Now, there have been some havoc of the major industry. Already some industries have caused various havocs. We'll go one by one. Now, in factories and the mines, the workers which are working, they are daily exposed to the large variety of the toxic and the poisonous substances, poisonous gases that leads to the deadly diseases like paralysis, Then there are various workers, they are suffering from the skin allergies and the silicosis. Participants, do you have any idea about silicosis?
No, sir.
Now,
No, sir.
actually, this silicosis disease mainly caused by the inhalation of the dust containing the free silica, or it is also known as the silicon dioxide. Now, whatever the workers which are working in those industry, like the mining industry, or there are some sand blasting industries are there. There are some building and the construction works. All whatever the workers which are working on nearby industries, they are exposed to such type of the hazards. Now, the incidence of the silicosis, they all depends upon the chemical composition of the dust, then also the size of the particles, then time or the duration, one can call as the duration of the exposure, and the individual resisting capacity. As we all know that every man is having the different type of capacity for the inhalation of the pollutants. Now, as we know that higher the concentration of the free silica in the dust, the greater will be the hazards. Now, it has been observed that particles having the range of 0.3 to 0.5 microns, they are the most dangerous because they can easily reach to the lungs. And as a result, we are suffering from the various respiratory disorders. Now, longer the duration of the exposure, greater will be the risk of the developing the silicosis. Now, what are the immediate symptoms of this deadly dangerous disease such as the silicosis? The immediate symptoms are like the cough, then pain in the chest. Then according to one of the research, in the few cases, silicosis may convert into the what we call as known as the silicotuberculosis. So immediately, if suppose people are suffering from the such type of silicosis, immediately he will be required the immediate treatment in order to get rid of that deadly dangerous disease. Now, let us have the second example of the petrol filling stations. Now, the workers which inhale the large quantities of the benzene, perhaps आमच्या environmental science सर्व लोकांना माहित असेल की benzene is one of the biggest villain. It is considered as one of the deadly dangerous pollutants. Whatever the workers inhale in the large quantities of the benzene, which is one of the constituent of the petrol, it immediately causes the headache, then giddiness, and the sleepiness. Now, textile industry. Let us take the third example of the textile industry. Workers are constantly inhale the cotton dust, and as a result, they are suffering from the respiratory disorders. This is all about the second factors, that is nothing but the rapid industrialization. Now let us come to the third factor, which is more deadly dangerous, that is the nothing but the emission from the vehicles. Now whatever the automobiles which are responsible for the 75% of the air pollution, the automobile exhaust are responsible for the 75% of the air pollution, and the automobiles such as the two-wheelers, the four-wheelers, they release the huge amount of the poisonous gases. Now again, there are some research have been carried out on the vehicular pollution, and few facts I would like to share, all those few facts which are based on this research. In all, there are about 400 million automobiles all over the globe, and their number is still increasing vigorously. Now, this in the year 2018, 19, and 1920, Indian auto manufacturers produces the record of 30.92 million motor vehicles. They are mainly operating on the petrol and the diesel. Now, let us come to the scenario of our country. In our country also, the 900 to 1000 tons of the pollutants are added through the vehicular emissions. Now, in order to reduce the vehicular air pollution in the country, the government has amended in their Transport Act to encourage the non-conventional fuel like CNG. CNG means the compressed natural gas, then LNG, liquefied natural gas, then ethanol based, one of the ethanol also run vehicles, ethanol based running vehicles up to the 2030. In our Nagpur city, I am happy to inform that all these changes, all these biofuels have been started. Government also encouraging and phasing out all the old vehicles to reduce the air pollution problem. In this regard, I am very happy to inform you that our RTO department is very active in phasing all the old vehicles, and they are taking the active part, they are taking the initiative in order to mitigate the problem of the air pollution. Now let us come to the different types of the air pollutants. Now these air pollutants have been broadly classified into the gaseous pollutant and the particulate pollutant. Now under this gaseous pollutant, there are some different types of the oxides of the sulfur, oxides of the nitrogen, oxides of the carbon, and a few parts of the hydrocarbons are also there. But mainly we used to monitor sulfur dioxide and the nitrogen dioxide and the carbon monoxide. Then these are all the list of the gaseous pollutants. Now, likewise, we are having the particulate pollutants, and these particulate pollutants are further classified into the suspended particulate matter and the respirable particulate matter. Suspended particulate matter means the matter, the suspended particulate matter means the name itself, one can understand why it is known as the suspended particulate matter, because there are some particulate matter having the tendency to remain suspended in the atmosphere for a longer period of time. Therefore, it is known as the suspended particulate matter, having the size greater than 10 microns. And there are some particulate matter having the size less than 10 micron. They are known as the respirable particulate matter. Now, there exist several parameters in order to judge the air quality, but only the 4 important parameter they always use. That includes, which I have already told you, that sulfur dioxide, the nitrogen dioxide, then SPM and the RSPM. All these parameters can give the complete picture of the pollutant load which is carried out by the air. Now, the suspended particulate matter in air has considered as one of the criteria parameter in order to indicate the air quality of all over the world. Now, let us come to the respirable particulate matter. Now, respirable particulate matter means PM10 are the particulates having the diameter less than 10 microns. Now, there are such a small particulates which is easily inhaled, and they are capable of reaching the alveoli. Alveoli is nothing but the air sacs in the lungs. All these particles are responsible for the most of the airborne threat to the human health because of their small size range and their capability to penetrate in the respiratory system during the breathing problems. Now, respirable particulate matter has been connected with our human mortality, and therefore it is considered, therefore it is known as one of the toxic pollutant. So this is all about the particulate pollutants. Now let us come to the gaseous pollutant. Under this gaseous pollutant, oxides of the sulfur, they are mainly emitted. They are mainly coming from the industries and the motor vehicles. Then NO2, which is extremely dangerous, and it mainly comes from the automobile exhaust. Then third example of the gaseous pollutant is nothing but the hydrocarbons, which are emitting from our vehicular emissions. Then carbon monoxide, which is nothing but one of the product of the incomplete combustion of the carbon containing fuel. Now let us come to the air quality monitoring. This is all about the gaseous pollutant and the particulate pollutant. Now let me come to the air quality monitoring. Now how to measure all these pollutants? Now, in order to measure all these gaseous pollutant and the particulate pollutant, this is one of the common instrument. Mainly all the assistant professors of environmental science, they might be knowing the name of that instrumentation is nothing but the high volume sampler. Now, this is one of the most common instrument which is used for the collection of the gaseous pollutant as well as the particulate pollutant, which is used in the recent years. Now, this instrument is designed by the scientist of the Navy. This instrument is a portable type. One can easily can take this instrument to the nearby industrial belt. ज्या ज्या इंडस्ट्रीच्या अवतीभोवती आपल्याला जर असं माहिती होत असेल की वी आर गेटिंग द प्रॉब्लेम ऑफ द सल्फर डायऑक्साइड किंवा NO2 or there are some thermal power plants, there are some mining industries are there from where the suspended particulate matter and the respirable particulate matter are discharging into environment. From there we'll have to select all those industrial sites, and then we have to take this high volume sampler to the nearby industries, and then we'll have to install them, and then we'll have to measure all the gaseous pollutant and the particulate pollutants. So this is one of the high volume sampler built for the continuous operation. This instrument is widely used by the scientists. They are also using by all the industrialized R&D workers and the offices of the State Pollution Control Board, the Central Pollution Control Board. This is one of the basic instrument which is used to monitor the ambient air quality. This instrument is used to all over the world in order to measure the air pollution in an industrial zone, in an urban zone, near the monuments and near the sensitive areas. This is how you'll have to install. This is how you'll have to select the industrial belt areas, industrial sites, and then you will have to install this high volume air sampler, and then you will have to collect, you will have to measure all these air pollutant, then with the help of the different impingers, and then all these impingers you will have to brought into the laboratory, and then you will have to analyze all these gaseous pollutants in an spectrophotometric method. Now, all these gaseous pollutants, as and when they enter into the nasal cavity, they immediately suffer from the various health related problems, various health related issues. Now, whatever the gaseous pollutants such as the sulfur dioxide, they affect the human health in various ways. For example, let us take the example of the sulfur dioxide, mainly which comes from the industrialization. Now, this sulfur dioxide is absorbed by the nasal system, which leads to the swelling and the stimulated mucus secretion. It particularly heated the aged person, as and when the sulfur dioxide, if suppose some senior citizen community have suffered the infection of the SO2, they may get immediately, they will become ill. They may get several disorders. Now, SO2 inhalation causes the symptoms of the bronchitis especially and other lung diseases also. These symptoms increases with the increased atmospheric concentration of the sulfur dioxide. Now, even the youngsters also, they may suffer from the lung cancer because of the increased level of the sulfur dioxide concentration in the atmosphere. Now, even there are some youngsters who are having the bad habit of taking the cigarettes. All these cigarette smokers, they readily develop the lung diseases, and it contains near about 350 to 500 ppm of NO2. Now, this is all the health related issues. Suppose we suffer from this deadly danger, this sulfur dioxide or NOx, we may result from the headache, we may result from the dizziness, then loss of consciousness, inflammation of the lung tissues, the respiratory troubles, then irritation of the ENT, the ear, noise, nose, and the throat. Then we may suffer from the cardiovascular changes, and finally death due to the respiratory failures. Now air pollutant, they also affect the vegetable crops and the damages and the plant growth, and also it may affect the nutrient quality of the plant products. Now this concentration of SO2, which mainly comes from the industrialization, they are highly injurious to the trees, and as a result they suffer from the problem of the chlorosis. From that picture, from that slide, you may easily observe what do you mean by the chlorosis. Now it's acute exposure to the high level, if suppose of sulfur dioxide, that kills the leaf tissue, that is nothing but the necrosis. Chlorosis means yellowing of leaves, and chlorosis means where there is a deformities of the tissues. These are all the immediate effects of the air pollutant on the plant life. Now this air pollutant may affect the monuments and the materials also. Now emissions from the sulfur dioxide from the thermal power stations and also the small scale industrial unit, they are accelerating and the deteriorating the world famous Taj Mahal of the Agra. Now polluted from the Mathura refinery industry may cause the serious damage to our Taj Mahal also. As we all know that Taj Mahal have been constructed by the marble. Therefore, attack of SO2, that phenomena is also known as the stone leprosy. Air polluted causes the serious damage to the Taj Mahal in Agra. Various scientific study have also suggested that there should be a green belt. There should be a dense green belt to the suitable tree species that should be created around the Taj Mahal in order to absorb the atmospheric pollutant. Now, this sulfur dioxide is very injurious not only to the man but also to the plant life. And it also attacks rapidly to the marble, limestone, and the building material, and therefore it is known as the stone leprosy also. Now, there are the release of all these greenhouse gases. They have been already covered by the earlier speakers like Dr. Goel, which has increased the problem of the temperature, and that has resulted into the global warming and further into the climate changes.
Air pollution
Here I would like to share one of the
particles in the atmosphere
videos
that pose serious health and environmental threats. But what causes air pollution, and what does it mean for our planet? Some air pollution comes from natural sources like volcanic eruptions, wildfires, or allergens. But most air pollution results from human activities, such as energy use in agriculture. There are different types of human-made air pollution. When we burn fossil fuels to produce energy, they release greenhouse gases into the air. These emissions, such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases, trap heat from the sun in Earth's atmosphere, leading to a rise in global temperatures. This creates a cycle where air pollution contributes to climate change, and climate change creates higher temperatures. In turn, higher temperatures intensify some types of air pollution. For example, climate change increases smog because it forms in the presence of high heat and increased levels of ultraviolet radiation. More frequent extreme weather, such as flooding, contributes to damp conditions and therefore to a rise in mold. Warmer weather also leads to longer pollen seasons and therefore more pollen production. Smog is a type of air pollution that Smog can be divided into two categories, sulfurous and photochemical. Sulfurous smog is made up of chemical compounds called sulfur oxides. It occurs when burning sulfur-bearing fossil fuels such as coal. Photochemical smog, also called ground-level ozone, is a result of the reaction between sunlight, nitrogen oxides, and volatile organic compounds. Nitrogen oxides come from car exhaust, coal power plants, and factory emissions. Volatile organic compounds are released from gasoline, paints, and many cleaning solvents. Smog not only creates a brown haze that reduces visibility, it also harms plants, irritates the eyes, and causes respiratory distress. Another category of air pollution is toxic pollutants. These are chemicals such as mercury, lead, dioxins, and benzene that are released during gas or coal combustion, waste incineration, or burning of gasoline. In addition to adverse environmental effects, toxic air pollution can cause serious health problems such as cancer, reproductive complications, and birth defects. While air pollution has many consequences for our planet, there are solutions. We can limit toxic pollutants, smog, and greenhouse gases by decreasing the use of fossil fuels, such as in transportation, manufacturing, and electricity generation. Reducing air pollution not only contributes to a cleaner environment and better human health, but can also slow the rate of global warming.
our disturbance का रहता है? Hello. Some plenty of disturbances are there. Hello, participants.
हाँ सर.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Plenty of disturbances are there. So these are the standards laid down by the State Pollution Control Board and the CPCB. Actually, this ambient air quality standards. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
audible, sir.
Actually, some plenty of noise is there. Let me come to the air quality index, ambient air quality standards. Now this Central Pollution Control Board, having head office at New Delhi, they have laid down the standards for the quality of air in the ambient air for the entire country. Now this entire country is classified into the three main categories, such as the industrial area, then residential area, and the sensitive area. Now, the standards for all these four major parameters like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, SPM and RSPM, they have been decided as the 50 for industrial belt and 80 for the residential areas. These are all the standards. Already, few scientists have also given the ideas of the air quality standards. Now, this sulfur dioxide can be measured, can be estimated with the help of the West and Dick method. And then regarding the estimation of the nitrogen dioxide can be estimated with the modified Jacob-Hostitius method. So this is all about the air quality standards and their methods of the estimation. Now let me come to the air quality index. Now what is this air quality index? From the numerical values of the air polluted from 0 to 50, that means the air quality is considered as one of the satisfactory. The air pollution possesses the little or the no risk. That means we can consider that is the good air quality. Actually, this air quality index is always used by the government agencies in order to inform the public what is the present status regarding the air pollution. The moment this air quality index rises, the public health risk or the public health related issues have also increases. Every city is having their own air quality indices corresponding to the different national air quality index. This is I have already told you this is 0 to 50 means good quality of air, then 51 to 100 moderate air quality, then 101 to 150 that means unhealthy for the sensitive groups, and above 150 to 200 that means unhealthy, and 200 to 300 means very unhealthy. Means there will be a health alert. Everyone may experience more serious health effect for the health related issues. And finally, above 300, the air quality will become the hazardous. So here we have also carried out one of the case study regarding the Nagpur. Just I would like to share that case study of the Nagpur city. As we all know that Nagpur is located in the Vidarbha region of the Maharashtra. Nagpur is called as Nagpur is the third largest city in the Maharashtra after Mumbai and Pune. Nagpur is also the major commercial and the political center of the Vidarbha region of the Maharashtra, and it is also famous throughout the country as one of the orange city, and it is also nowadays it is also considered as the second greenest city after Bangalore. Now, what are the major sources of this air pollution, from where these gaseous pollutant or the particulate pollutants are entering into our Nagpur city? Now, there has been a rapid growth of the industries in the city, especially we are having the 900 small and the medium industrial units. The major industrial belt, they are nothing but the tractor manufacturing plants. We are having casting units. We are having the units of the international combustion, then auto parts, then large confectionery manufacturing plants, steel rolling groups of the companies, and the food manufacturer. Apart from this industrial belt, we are having the Koradi and the Khaparkheda. These are the two major thermal power stations which are located near Nagpur. Now, we have selected the industrial belt that is designated as Butibori and the Hingna. So, all our research scholars and samples, we have collected the sample from this industrial belt from the different locations of Hingna, which is one of the biggest industrial belt. Then location of the monitoring, which is very close to the industrial area. You will have to select all the monitoring stations which is nearby to the industrial area. Then heavy volume of all kinds of the vehicles, they are also moving on the road, which is adding the fluctuations in the pollution levels. So likewise, we have to select all the sampling location, and we have to install our high volume sampler to these selected sampling locations. Then regarding, as far as the methodology is concerned, the suspended particulate matter in the ambient atmosphere have been collected with the help of the high volume sampler, and it has been estimated gravimetrically. Now, regarding the gaseous pollutant, the main gaseous pollutant is nitrogen dioxide, that is determined by the West and the Gig method using the absorbing media as the sodium arsenate and sodium hydroxide. Then another gaseous pollutant, that is sulfur dioxide, which is equally dangerous, that has been determined by the modified Jacob-Hustitius method using the absorbing media as a sodium tetrachloromercurate. Both the gaseous protocols, they were determined spectrophotometrically as per the guidelines received by the Central Pollution Control Board. Now, these are the combined values of the both gaseous pollutants. Here, from the graphical presentation, you must be observing that the sulfur dioxide concentration is very less. However, but nitrogen dioxide, which is mainly coming from the vehicular pollutants, that has been raised in our Nagpur city. And from this, as far as the suspended particulate matter and the respirable particulate matter, the maximum concentration of the respirable particulate matter have also increased in our city during the last 5 years. So finally, our study, we have given the suggestions which conclude that the SO2 and the NO2, they have observed that the below to the national standards. But nowadays, we are using the desulfurized coal. That may be one of the reason why the emission of the sulfur dioxide and the NO2, they are finding out the below the national standards. NO2 is now SPM concentration are found to be very much excess. Then again, we have carried out this, some studies, and we have given the recommendation, such as the shifting of the industry from the residential to the industrial zone, then switching over to the cleaner technology, the using the clean fuels, then installation of the pollution control devices, and the development of the green belt. Now, as far as the green belt is concerned, again, the green cover in Nagpur city is dominated in the civil areas, which is found in the western part of the city. On the other hand, in the eastern Nagpur, we are having just only the 2% of the total green cover. Now, there are several issues which are also connected with our air pollution. Now, one of the biggest air pollution issue that has nothing but the Bhopal gas tragedy. The date of occurrence is 3rd December 1984. The place of occurrence is nothing but the Bhopal. Then company from where this deadly dangerous gas, that is MIC, methyl isocyanate, have emitted. That is known, that industry was known as the Union Carbide industry, which is manufacturing the pesticide. And the chemical which has been emitted, that is nothing but the methyl isocyanate. This methyl isocyanate gas has leaked on the 3rd December 1984, which has been considered as one of the worst industrial disaster which is related to our air pollution. Now, on that night, around 2 lakhs Bhopal residents were affected by the leakages of the poisonous methyl isocyanate gas from which has been emitted from that Union Carbide pesticide plant. Actually, that pesticide plant was manufacturing some pesticides. So, on that day, at least 5,000 people, they were killed, and the doctor they were killed on the spot, and the doctor estimated that around 50,000 people, they have been seriously affected, and many people have become they have developed the cataract, they have developed the blindness. Now, regarding the MIC, which is a very toxic gas used in the manufacture of the pesticide, it reacts quickly with water and causes lung to the swell, and they develop the cataract, and that cataract had further resulted into the blindness. Out of every 3 children born to the woman who were pregnant on the night of the disaster, only 1 survived. So, participant, you can judge the gravity of that air pollutants. Out of the 150 newly born babies, 16 were found physically deformed and 60 premature birth. Even that deformity which include, such as the children they are suffering from the hearts, holes, arms, and other serious diseases. Now, this industry, they were manufacturing the methyl isocyanate by taking the help of methylamine and the carbonyl chloride. Now, these are some of the chemical reactions which I would like to share with you. Methylamine means CH3NH2, then carbonyl chloride, COCl2. At a very high temperature, they used to produce the methyl isocyanate gas, which is one of the deadly dangerous gas. And that has caused the havoc in the Bhopal city. This MIC gas has released from the Union Carbide pesticide plant and causes the death of the 25,000 persons on the spot, and 150,000 people, they are still suffering from the various respiratory troubles and other disorders. Even let me share the present status of that Bhopal gas tragedy. After the 30 years of the suffering also, still the victim of the Bhopal gas tragedy, they are awaiting for the justice. The victims are still suffering. They are waiting for the compensation. Many people have not received the compensation yet. So there is no positive response to till date from the government and from the Union Carbide pesticide plant.
2 दिसंबर 1952
Just I would like to share one of the
इतिहास
episodes.
के पन्नों में दर्ज एक ऐसी तारीख जो अपने आप में न जाने कितने जख्म छिपाए हुए हैं। जब भारत के इतिहास में हुई अब तक की सबसे भयानक गैस त्रासदी के 2 दिसंबर की रात पर पूरा भोपाल शहर एक खुशहाल माहौल में जी रहा था, लेकिन जब सुबह हुई तब तक शहर के हजारों लोग लाश में तब्दील हो चुके थे। और इस दिल दहला देने वाली त्रासदी की वजह बनी यूनियन कार्बाइड फैक्ट्री के प्लांट नंबर सी के टैंकर नंबर 610 में भरी जहरीली मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड गैस। आइए जानते हैं इस त्रासदी के बारे में। भोपाल में हुई इस त्रासदी के बादल तभी छा गए थे जब 1969 में अमेरिकी कंपनी यूनियन कार्बाइड ने भोपाल में अपनी फैक्ट्री चालू की। इस फैक्ट्री में मुख्य तौर पर कीटनाशक दवाइयां बनाई जाती थी और यहाँ बेशक बहुत सारे लोगों को रोजगार मिला था, लेकिन उन भले भोले भाले लोगों को आने वाली तबाही का इल्म तक नहीं था, जो कुछ साल बाद भोपाल की खुशहाल धरती को एक कब्रगाह बनाने के लिए बेताब थी। हादसे वाले दिन भी फैक्ट्री हर दिन की तरह ठीक ठाक चल रही थी। वहां सब कुछ सामान्य था। शाम को फैक्ट्री बंद हुई और सारे वर्कर्स फैक्ट्री से निकल चुके थे और अभी तक फैक्ट्री में भी सब कुछ सामान्य था। सब कुछ रोज की तरह ही चल रहा। रात 11:17 फैक्ट्री के गार्ड और केयर टेकर को मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड के लीक होने के लक्षण महसूस होने लगे और सबसे पहले इस बात की जानकारी वहां के ऑपरेटर सुमन डे को लगी। और थोड़ी देर में सुमन डे ने वो जगह ढूंढ निकाली जहां से ये जहरीली गैस का रिसाव हो रहा। दरअसल ये गैस फैक्ट्री के स्टोर रूम में मौजूद एक पाइप से लीक हो रही थी और इस पाइप के जस्ट नीचे मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड के 3 टैंक भी रखे हुए थे। लेकिन सुमन डे को लगा कि ये कोई मामूली रिसाव है और उन्होंने जुगाड़ लगाकर पाइप को रिपेयर कर दिया। लेकिन सुमन डे को इस बात का इल्म तक नहीं था कि उनकी ये गलती कितनी बड़ी तबाही लाने वाली है। पाइप के रिसाव को जुगाड़ से ठीक तो कर दिया गया और ठीक करने के बाद सुमन ने अपने केबिन में चले जाने का फैसला किया और अन्य कर्मचारी भी अपने अपने काम में लग गए। लेकिन इन सबके बीच गैस का रिसाव लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा था। थोड़ी देर बाद जब वहां के कर्मचारियों को ये बात पता चली तो उन्होंने तुरंत सुमन को इन्फॉर्म किया और सुमन आनन फानन में ही मौके पर पहुंचे और स्टोर रूम का प्रेशर चेक करने लगे। और वो बेशक बहुत हैरान थे क्योंकि उनका किया गया जुगाड़ लगभग फेल हो चुका था। अब सुमन को एक बात समझ में आ गई कि ये उनके लिए एक गंभीर परिस्थिति बन चुकी है और वो इसे तुरंत कंट्रोल करने में लग गए। उन्होंने फैक्ट्री में मौजूद इमरजेंसी गैस कंट्रोल सिस्टम को चालू कर दिया, लेकिन तब तक बहुत देर हो चुकी थी। गैस का दबाव लगातार बढ़ता जा रहा था और थोड़ी ही देर में गैस का रिसाव इतना ज्यादा बढ़ गया कि मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड फैक्ट्री के पाइप से होते हुए चिमनी के रास्ते शहर की हवा में उड़ गई। फैक्ट्री के कर्मचारी इस गैस को रोकने के लिए जी जान से लग गए। चिमनी और गैस कंटेनर पर पानी डालकर उसका प्रेशर कम करने की नाकाम कोशिश की जाने लगी और 45 मिनट तक लगभग उस पर पानी की बौछार मारी, लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी गैस खतरनाक तरीके से चिमनी के बाहर निकल रही थी और महज आधे घंटे के अंदर गैस ने लगभग 10 किलोमीटर तक का एरिया कवर कर लिया था। इस वजह से लगभग 3,000 लोग कुछ ही मिनट में गाल के गाल में समा गए और लगभग 5,000 लोग बुरी तरीके से इस गैस की वजह से प्रभावित हुए। मरने वालों की संख्या को लेकर हमेशा एक बहस बनी रहती है क्योंकि त्रासदी के बाद आए कुछ आंकड़ों के मुताबिक लगभग 15,696 लोगों ने अपनी जिंदगी से हाथ धोला, लेकिन लाखों लोग अपंगता को ग्रस्त हुए। कुछ विश्वस्त एजेंसियों की माने तो लगभग 8,000 लोगों की जान गई और लाखों लोग इस हादसे से प्रभावित हुए। इसकी जांच सीबीआई के द्वारा भी हुई, जिसके बाद 7 लोगों को इस भीषण त्रासदी का आरोपी माना गया और यूनियन कार्बाइड फैक्ट्री को 767 मिलियन डॉलर्स का हर्जाना भरना पड़ा। अब सवाल तो ये है ना कि इस हादसे का मुख्य कारण क्या है। जांच के मुताबिक फैक्ट्री में लगे सुरक्षा उपकरण टेम्परेरी थे या तो खराब थे। जिस दिन यह हादसा हुआ उसी दिन सुबह 10 बजे तक केमिकल प्रोसेसिंग का काम हुआ था, जिसके अकॉर्डिंग प्रोसेसिंग में इस्तेमाल हुए प्रोसेसिंग पाइप में पानी का प्रेशर मारकर उन्हें साफ किया जाता था लेकिन उस दिन ऐसा नहीं हुआ और पानी के पाइप के अंदर पानी जमा हो गया। और जांचकर्ता का ये मानना था कि यही पानी पाइप के सहारे होता हुआ मिथाइल आइसोसाइनाइड में जा मिला, जिसकी वजह से ये बड़ा हादसा हुआ। हादसे के इतने साल बाद भी आज भी भोपाल की जनता जब इस रात को याद करती है तो उनके रूह कांप जाते हैं। और ये शायद भारत के इतिहास में हुआ अब तक का सबसे बड़ा गैस हादसा था। और आज के अपने इस वीडियो को मैंने मनीष वर्मा जी के रिक्वेस्ट पर बनाया है। और मनीष वर्मा जी मेरे व्यूवर हैं, उन्होंने ईमेल करके बताया था। और मैं आपको बता दूं कि मनीष वर्मा जी उस परिवार से बिलोंग करते हैं, या वर्मा जी इस परिवार से हैं जो कि इस गैस त्रासदी के पीड़ित थे। तो आज के अपने इस वीडियो में इतना ही। अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो वीडियो को लाइक करिए, नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करिए, और वीडियो कैसे लगी आप कमेंट करके बता सकते हैं। और जैसा कि मैं रोज बोलता हूँ, आज भी बोल रहा हूँ कि आपको वी नेशन ट्रिपल वन में कई प्लेलिस्ट मिल जाएगी जहाँ पे आपको अच्छे वीडियोस मिल जाएंगे। तो आप प्लीज जाके वीडियो देखिए, और वीडियो कैसे लगते हैं ये कमेंट पे जरूर बताइए, और हो सके तो शेयर भी करिए। सो थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग द वीडियो। थैंक यू सो मच। अब मिलते हैं अपने अगले वीडियो में।
So I hope you must have enjoyed the video of the Bhopal gas tragedy. That was one of the serious gas tragedy. And
Yes, sir.
after that only the course curriculum of environmental science has been started. And here let me share one of the important information that Jawaharlal Nehru University of New Delhi is the first university who has started the course of environmental science at UG level, PG level, and also at MPhil level after going through the this biggest tragedy. Now, one more episode just I would like to share with you, that is the Vizag gas has been leaked recently in the Vishakhapatnam. In this Vishakhapatnam, that gas leaks also referred as one of the Vizag gas that has been leaked in an industrial accident which is occurred at the LG polymer chemical plant in RR Venkatapuram. Venkatapuram is one of the village in the Andhra Pradesh, and this gas was leaked on the 7th May into 2020, during early in the morning. The gas leak was known as the stearin gas. The plant stored the dangerous stearin gas, perhaps chemistry, all the chemistry people must be knowing the stearin gas. This stearin gas is commonly used in the manufacture of the plastic products, such as the plastic bags. Yes, such as the plastic bags and the food packages. This is again one of the dangerous stearin gas, which is stored in the tanks and which was rapidly vaporized at around early in the morning at 3 o'clock, when the maintenance activity was in progress, and the gas leaked from the plant and had spread up to the nearby villages. Now, as per the even the immediate effects of this gas spread up is nothing but the irritation of the skin, then irritation of the eyes, and several disorders to the respiratory tracts. Now, as per the National Disaster Management Response Force, abbreviated as NDRF, in this episode, 11 people was died on the spot, and more than 1,000 people suffered after being exposed to this gas. And unfortunately, my dear participant, this industry have also not followed the rules which have been laid down by the Minister of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change from time to time. Unfortunately, this company had not followed the legal environmental clearance from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change during the year since 2006. Therefore, here I have recollected that slide of the Dr. Abhay Phulke. There should not be politics in science, or science, there should be any science subject are always away from the politics. In our morning speaker, Dr. Bhattacharya, have also expressed his grave concern because of the interferences in the politics. And perhaps this may be one of the reasons why our environment is also getting deteriorated day by day. So let us come to our presentation. From that, we have not learned any lesson from the history, right from the Bhopal gas tragedy and this Visakhapatnam episode also. We have not learned any lesson from the history. That is why the such incidents of the gas leakages are taking place regularly in our country. Now, let us have the second issue. We'll go fast. Acid rain. It is also one of the issue which is connected with the air pollution. Acid rain means the presence of the acid in the rainwater. It is used to describe all the precipitation such as the rain, snow and the dew, which is more acidic than the normal. Acid rain is not only dangerous to the lakes and the forest, but it also corrodes the building, monuments and the statues. Now again, the sources of the acid rain, from where all this acid rain comes into our environment. Again, sources are nothing but the automobile industries and the thermal power plants. All these automobiles and the thermal power plants, they emit large quantities of the sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, which are regularly emitted into the atmosphere from all these industries. These gases react with the moisture in the air in order to form the sulfuric acid and the nitric acid, and combinedly it is known as the when they comes with the rain, that is known as the acid rain. Now, sulfuric acid is the major contributor, which contribute around the 60 to 70%. The nitric acid ranks second, that is the 30 to 40%, and hydrochloric acid ranked third. So therefore, we always used to describe the acid rain is nothing but the cocktail of the sulfuric acid and the nitric acid. Now, sulfur dioxide mainly which comes from the oxidization, industrialization, which is getting oxidation. On oxidation, you will find sulfur dioxide. On oxidation, you will get sulfur trioxide, and this sulfur trioxide, when reacted with the water vapor, it will convert into the sulfuric acid. Whatever the nitrogen dioxide, which mainly comes from the automobile exhaust, which on oxidation, you will get nitrogen trioxide, and this nitrogen trioxide, when reacted with the water vapor, then there will be a formation of the nitric acid. Now, again, there are some episodes of acid rain also. It is estimated that nearly 30% of the West Germany's forest is dying a slow death, causing the timber loss and the agricultural damages. In our country also, the systematic work on measuring the rainwater acidity has been carried out during the last 5 years by the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai, and Central Pollution Control Board, New Delhi, and Indian Meteorological Organization, where they have pointed out that there is an increasing trend to the acidic rain in Maharashtra at Pune city also. According to another report, acidic rains were reported from the Chembur, that is one of the part of the Chembur, then Trombay. These are all the parts and the areas of the Mumbai city. Even the recent report published by the NIRI, in our Nagpur city also, we used to receive the acid rain. Generally, the pehla rain asto, the first rain asto, so that has been considered as the acid rain. In our Nagpur city also, the several systematic work has been carried out by NIRI, and the Regional Meteorological Center of our Nagpur city. Nagpur is also taken the major initiative in measuring the acid rain. Even it is an interesting incident. It is an interesting episode on the record that while the United Nations Conference on the World Environmental Day was in session at the Stockholm in the July 1982, the venue of the conference have received the heavy rains. So here I always used to share one of the one of the slogan that is known as the use your brain in order to stop the acid rain. Use your brain in order to stop the acid rain. Then smog formation, again the third issue which is connected with our air pollution. Fog is nothing but the combination of the fog, smoke and the chemical fumes. Very common in all the industrial belt. It reduces the visibility in the atmosphere. It causes the serious problem for the road traffic, railway traffic and the aviation. These are the some few pictures of the smog formation. the major issue which is connected with the air pollution, that is nothing but the indoor air pollution. या इंडोर एअर पोल्युशनला आपण तेवढं जास्त महत्व देत नाहीये, पण इंडोर पोल्युशन इज ऑल्सो इक्वली डेंजरस. Unfortunately, this indoor pollution has not yet given too much importance. Although most of the people, they spends 80 to 90% of their time indoors. Actually, these indoor air pollutants are more hazardous than the outdoor pollutants because of their close contact, because of their close proximity to the people. Now, these are the impacts of the air pollution on the human health. Whatever the pollutants which are mainly comes from the indoor air pollutants, we may suffer from the acute respiratory infection, then we may suffer from the chronic bronchitis, lung cancer, tuberculosis, eye irritation, blindness, heart diseases, and the asthma. Then government have amended various acts. The first act when came into the force in the year 1981, that is known as the Air Prevention the Control of Pollution Act. That has been came into the force on 16 May 1981 by the government of India. The main objective of this act is to provide the prevention, control, then mitigation measure, abatement of the air pollution in order to preserve the quality of air. Then under this act, we have to form the guidelines, we have to form the standards for the quality of the air. Then Supreme Court of India have also directed all the high courts of India to set up the green benches in order to deal the environmental affairs. Say for example, we are staying in our residential area, and if suppose there are some small scale industries are there and they are emitting or they are discharging the pollutants, then you are in a position to lodge their complaints to the nearby police station. Or if suppose you are not satisfactory with your complaints, then you may file the petition to the courts, where there is a separate green benches is there in order to have some affairs dealing with the industrial pollution problems. Now, there are categorization of industries are also there under this act. Industries have identified by the Ministry of Environment. Then Government of India have categorized all this industry. Say for example, there are some industries which are highly polluting industries are there. For example, sugar industries there, paper and pulp industries are there, pharmaceutical industries are there, thermal power plants are there, cement industry. All these industries they have categorized into the red zone. Red means highly polluted. Then there are some moderately polluting industries are there, glass industries is there, hotel industries there, food industries there. They have categorized into the orange industry, means they are less polluting. Therefore, they are comes under the orange category. And then there are some industries which resulted into the almost no pollution or very less pollution. This industry comes nothing but the mineral industry, mineral water plants, and then bakery products. Then electronic industries are there, flour mills. They come under the green industries. This is how the Ministry of Environment have categorized all our industries into the red zone, orange zone, and the green zone. Then under this act, there are some penalties against the offenders. There is imprisonment for the period for the 3 months or a fine up to 5,000. In case the continuous violation is there, an additional fine extending to 1,000 per day. Now, this industrial pollution controlling, we can control by taking the help of the some air pollution control devices are also there. With the help of these devices, one can keep a control on this air pollution problem. Then by construction the high stack chimneys to discharge the pollutant at a higher altitude. Then by growing the vegetation on the plantation. Now, for controlling the air pollution by devices, again there is a long list of anti-pollution control devices such as the gravity settling chamber, then cyclone separator, then fabric filter, then electrostatic precipitator, wet scrubbers. These are all the anti-pollution control devices. Again, all these air pollution control equipments are there. they are fitted, they are suitable for some industry where we can stop their air pollution, where we can arrest the air pollution. Now there are some high-stack chimneys are also there. All these pollutants are taken at a higher altitude with the help of the stacks. Now the height of the stacks must be the 2.5 times height of the surrounding buildings. By constructing the high-stack chimneys in the thermal power plant, this is how one can keep a control on the air pollution problem. Then air pollution control by the plantation, as we all know that there are some green belts of the plants like Ashoka trees, the neem trees, coconut trees, tamarind. They will not only absorb the pollutants, but they also metabolize them, and thus we can purify the air pollution air. Then green belt absorb pollutants. As we all know that green belt absorb the pollutant, then they reduce the noise level also, as well as the filter out the, they also filter out the particulate matter. Then there are some major initiatives taken by the government of India in order to keep a control on the air pollution problems. That is nothing but the improvement in the vehicular technology. Now we are introducing the biofuels such as CNG, LNG. Then improvement in the fuel quality. Petrol without lead content is also used in almost all the metropolitan cities. Then government is giving more and more emphasis to the cleaner technology, pollution prevention technology, development for the clean technology. Then pollution under control. RTO is very regular in providing the PUC certificate for all the vehicles which are producing the air pollutant problems. Then pollution control in Taj trapezium zone. Then there is a regular air quality monitoring at the national level, at the state level. Then there is the air quality index for the public information. All this government is regularly providing the air quality data on several TV channels, daily newspapers for the public awareness. All this information have also stated by our morning speaker, Mr. Kaushik Bhattacharya. Then there are, I would like to, I'm very happy to share all this information. These are some of the positive impact of COVID-19. Impact of COVID-19 on environment, they are highly encouraging. According to the center-run system of air quality and the weather forecasting research center, the lockdown have led to a drop of particulate matter by 30% in our capital, that is in New Delhi. Even the nitrogen dioxide level have come down drastically with a near about 40% of the reduction. Even the one of the report which is published by the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, that report said that though our lockdown was very painful for everybody, for all of us, but to the environmental point of view, it has really helped in order to reduce the air pollution problem. According to the Maharashtra Pollution Control Board, the report, the values of the SPM and the RSPM and the gaseous pollutant have been reduced tremendously, which was not even possibly achieved by our government from the last few years. Although our government have passed the very strict the laws and the regulations, but still our government have not achieved this task which has been achieved by this lockdown. Anyway, I would like to sum up finally, in order to mitigate all this air pollution problem, in order to keep a control, in order to keep a control on this air pollution problem, finally there should be an environmental awareness. Every individual should have the awareness about their surrounding environment. And environmental regarding should be the part of your course curriculum. That should be the part of our environmental education system. Then there should be a fair and healthy atmosphere, which is a fundamental right of every child of the nation. Then various initiatives also taken by the government for the mitigation of the air pollution that has been already covered by earlier speakers also. So here I would like to sum up. I always used to share some of the slogans which is related with the air pollution. I always quote in front of all my UG student, PG student, all my research scholar. Let us pray to the Almighty to shower His richest blessing upon us, all to make our environment a green success, so that each one of us can share the beauty of this earth. I wish to conclude my presentation with this Hindi poetry कि उम्मीदों से बंधा हुआ इंसान एक जिद्दी परिंदा है, उम्मीदों से ही घायल है और उम्मीदों से ही जिंदा है. So my dear teacher participant, with this hope, let us will have a clean air. I am very much thankful to Dr. Dethe sir, who is working as a director to this UGC HRD center, for giving me this an opportunity to share my knowledge with all the teacher participants. I am also thankful for the teacher participant for their patientful hearing. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. So thank you. Wishing you the clean air 2023. Now, suppose anybody would like to have some discussion regarding this air pollution problem. We'll spend five minutes. Otherwise, we'll immediately take a lunch break regarding. Come on, Dr. Amit.
Sir, shall I ask a question,
Hello.
sir?
Yeah, please. Come on,
We were
Kani.
talking about indoor air pollutants, sir. What are the causes of indoor pollution, sir? Reasons for indoor pollution.
Again, that smokeless chullas, whatever the people which are staying below the poverty line, they are again same using the all those old pattern, that is chullas and all. So they are also burning the fossil fuel. They are all burning the woods, and they are emitting the carbon dioxide and the carbon monoxide regularly. And as and when they are inhale all these oxides of the carbon, they are suffering from the various health related problems. I already given you the list of the that air pollution, indoor air pollution, and the immediate harmful effects which has been caused by the people, those who are staying below the poverty line or those who are staying in the villages. Next,
are
please.
there microplastics available in the air, sir? Are the microplastic present in the air? Somebody is telling, if you are talking about microplastic present in the air, also it is creating pollution.
Microplastic is different issue. Today we have talked about the gaseous pollutant and the particulate pollutant. आमच्या एन्व्हायरमेंटल सायन्सच्या लोकांनी एकदम व्यवस्थित उत्तर द्यायला पाहिजे, कारण काय आपल्या एन्व्हायरमेंटल सायन्सच्या लोकांनी असं हॅपॅझर्ड वन शुड नॉट टॉक इन अन हॅपॅझर्ड वे. The gaseous pollutant means carbon dioxide, oxides of the carbon, oxides of the sulfur, and oxides of the nitrogen. And the particulate pollutant means SPM, the RSPM. Microplastic is a different issue that mainly comes from the water environment. Come on, Neetu Amlani.
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, most of the industries are emitting these waste, but actually no one is thinking about the laboratories. Those that small scale laboratories or pilot scale laboratories, or even our educational laboratories, those who are actually we are performing practicals also. So they are just spillings that chemicals into the water, or we said directly into the sewage water. But no one is looking for that. So why environmental regulation should not be for educational institute also?
Actually, all this Maharashtra Pollution Control Board they are having their strict rules and regulation. But all this industrialists, although MPCB is regularly updating their rules and regulation, but still, uh, all these industrialized, they are not following those rules and regulations, and they are discharging their industrial waste into without giving any proper treatment to the nearby river and the lakes and the ponds, and ultimately the water qualities have been completely deteriorated. So resultant water is totally unfit for our human consumption or for our drinking purpose or for our domestic purpose. So that is why that tussle is always going on in between the environment and the development. And then when all this team of MPCB, all these field officer, then pollution control officer, they are regularly giving visit to the industrialized. But again, yesterday one of the speaker have rightly pointed out that politics should be away from the science subject, and the science subject should be there is away from the politics. There is a tremendous increase. There is all because all these industries have been run by the politicians. No?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
So that was my concern, sir, because most of the laboratories also, those who are having small scale laboratories or pilot scale laboratories, they are also not following these regulations, sir.
No, not at all.
Yes, sir,
Otherwise, they will not get a permission to open the laboratories, and if suppose they will give the
no, sir, they are doing environmental audit and all these things, but they are not following any regulations there.
Yeah.
That's it, sir.
Because
Thank
they
you,
are
sir. Thank
laid
you so
down,
much, sir.
they are laid down by the rules. They are governed by the Maharashtra Pollution Control Boards. Finally,
Yes.
they are getting their innovation, then they are getting their license updated. They are getting their
Yes.
permissions for the
Yes.
head office of the MPCB. So
Yeah.
although they must be observing various pollution levels are permitting, are increasing, or they are permitting, they're crossing the permissible limit, they are crossing the standards, but still they will have to keep their report below the standards. This is one of
Yes.
the biggest tragedy.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to request to Dr. Sheel to go for the
Yes,
further
sir. Yes, sir.
proceedings.
If no questions are there, then let me propose vote of thanks.
Then we'll be having lunch up to 1:30 to 2 o'clock, and then again from tomorrow, from today onwards, we'll start our presentation.
Okay, sir. On behalf of UGC HRDC Nagpur and all the participants of online environmental science refresher course, I, Dr. Vijan Kumar Shil, would like to thank Dr. Praveen Meshram sir for presenting such a nice session. He explains the concept of air pollution, definition of air pollution, types of air pollutants, and their effect on human and plant health, and on monuments and materials. He shares composition of clean air and discussed havoc of major industries, facts regarding vehicular air pollution. He put a light on air quality monitoring system and instruments used for monitoring. He also discussed case study of Nagpur with respect to air pollution. Sir has shared very nice videos on effect of climate change and on Bhopal gas tragedy. He also covers various topics like visa, gas leak, acid rain, photochemical smog, industrial categorization, and so on. Thank you, sir, for presenting such a nice, informative, and eye-opening session, and for enhancing our knowledge. I would also like to thank all the participants for their active participation. Uh, thank you, HRDC Nagpur team. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sheel, for your all the nice words.
Excuse me, sir.